One of the great things about getting a little older is that you get to go out on your own. But just because you're old enough doesn't mean you're safe enough. As Amanda reports, you need to develop your personal safety skills, or as we call them, street smarts.
What's wrong with this picture? You guessed it. Texting isn't only bad when you're driving. It's not safe when you're walking either. Not only is this girl annoying people who have to get out of her way, she could be setting herself up for some serious trouble.
Being aware of your surroundings is serious business.
The National Center for Victims of Crime reports 12 to 24-year-olds are more likely to be victimized than any other age groups. Some of those crimes, like robbery and assault, happen out on the street. That's why teen advice columnist Holly Ashworth of About.com came up with a list of ways to make yourself safer on the street.
Well, I think it's really easy for teens to get a little cocky when they're in their own worlds, going to school and hanging out with their friends, but it's a different situation when you're out on the streets, and you need to learn a whole different skill set in order to handle yourself in front of strangers and in public situations.
The top tip: know where you're going. Looking uncertain on the street could make you a target.
If you're heading out to an unfamiliar place, make sure you know how to get there.
Do some research and plan your route in advance. Tip number 2, know where your stuff is.
If you're carrying a purse, make sure that you have it over your shoulder with your purse over here so it's not hanging out behind you where someone can grab it. If you've got a wallet, carry it in your front pocket so it's harder to get to.
And Holly says you should always carry your phone. Or make sure you travel with someone who does.
If you get lost or if you're in trouble, your phone is really your lifeline.
But don't be a phone zombie. As we said at the start, if you're looking down or wrapped up in a call, you might not notice something or someone that could do you harm. That leads us to this tip.
Don't trust almost anyone. You don't have to be super paranoid when you're hitting the streets, but keep in mind that not everyone you meet is going to have your best interests in mind.
Even in the daytime, be street smart. A crowded street is probably going to be safer than a quiet one.
And if something happens on a busy street, there's at least going to be people that you can shout out to or stores to run into to get help.
At night, all streets can be dangerous, even familiar ones near your home, so be extra careful.
And there's safety in numbers. Try to travel in packs instead of alone. Love your music? Great, but turn it down so you can be aware of your surroundings, and ignore loudmouths.
If someone shouts something at you, you're better off just leaving it alone, not responding. Don't turn a stupid comment into an argument. If you follow all of these rules, probably nothing is going to happen to you. But if something does and someone approaches you and you feel like you're in a dangerous situation, your best option is just to run away and scream your head off.
Somebody call the police!
And shout for the police. That way, other people will know you need help and you're not just horsing around. You might think it couldn't happen to you, but as I said during my report, statistics show teens and young adults are more likely to be victims of violent crimes than older people. Don't become another statistic. Be street smart.